crux of the song is based on loneliness, and there's this one little lyrical phrase that comes in at the very end of the song, which says, "Under the bridge downtown is where I drew some blood. Under the bridge downtown, forgot about my love. Under the bridge downtown, I could not get enough. Under the bridge downtown, I gave my life away."
Written by Anthony Kiedis, Under the Bridge was released on the Red Hot Chili Peppers' 1991 album, Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Under the Bridge was track number 11 on the album and was one of the 5 singles to be released from Blood Sugar Sex Magic. Under the Bridge was written about a very lonely time in Anthony Kiedis' life. It was Kiedis reflecting back on his days when he was a hard drug user and the loneliness that went with that. Kiedis was working on the Red Hot Chili Peppers' 5th studio album, Blood Sugar Sex Magic, when he came up with the song.
And one day I was driving back from a rehearsal for this last record that we were writing, and I got one of those bursts of loneliness, and I didn't really feel like there was a single soul in the universe that I could connect with. You know, on a gut level, on a heart level, on a spiritual level, on a level of love. I just felt like I was all by myself. And so I started singing to myself on the freeway, on the Hollywood freeway, coming back from rehearsal. And without thinking about anything, an entire song came through my head, and when I got home I wrote it down.
And that song was Under the Bridge. It was written about a time when he would roam the streets with his ex-convict friend trying to score.
And we went to this bridge that was downtown in the middle of Los Angeles in this ghetto, and it was a freeway bridge. And there was a little passageway that you had to go to get under the bridge, and only certain members of this Mexican gang, which were all ex-convicts, were allowed to go in there. And the reason that they let me in is because this guy Mario said that I was going out with his sister, which was a lie, just so we could go in there and do what it is we wanted to do, which was to use these particular drugs we had just gotten.
The song was originally intended not to be introduced to his band at all. It was just a poem he wrote to himself. But the album's producer, Rick Rubin, ended up finding the poem in one of Kiedis' notebooks and said that this would make a great song. In a 2022 interview on Howard Stern, Kiedis added, "I didn't have the whole song worked out, and when John Frusciante came in and added the guitar chords to it, it brought something to the song that the song didn't have when it was just a cappella." Kiedis continues,
It was different and it was personal. We hadn't really gone down that road yet, but the cool thing was that when I sang it to anybody in the band, they were like, "Oh hell yes, let's work on that."
And it was a different tack for the Chili Peppers. The song was a ballad, and typically the band made rock and funk songs. So it was definitely a big step out of the norm for the band, but ironically it became the band's biggest hit, and still remains a very popular song to this very day. A music video was made for the song, which was directed by well-known movie producer Gus Van Sant, and in 1998 the song was covered by the all-girl group All Saints. The song was completely changed up, of course, and you had notable lyric changes as well. Under the Bridge was recorded between April and June of 1991 at The Mansion in Los Angeles. The Mansion is a recording studio located in Laurel Canyon and is owned by Rick Rubin, who produced Blood Sugar Sex Magic. After the song was recorded, Rubin thought that the big finale of the song could benefit from a large group of singers. And some of the singers used on the song were none other than John Frusciante's mother, Gail, and her friend, and both of them who sang in a choir. The song starts off with that clean guitar intro that we get from John Frusciante, very legendary of course. Then we go into the basic structure with verse 1, then verse 2. Then we hit that epic chorus. Then we come back for verse 3 and then into a second chorus. Then the song breaks off and does something different, where the chorus is not repeated again in the song, which is something you would usually get. We break off into a totally new bit, where Kiedis breaks off into the lyrics, "Under the bridge downtown is where I drew some blood, under the bridge downtown I could not get enough," and so forth. And the song just builds up from there until it hits its end. And so with the lyrics we get that very poignant opening with just simply written, sometimes I feel like I don't have a partner, sometimes I feel like my only friend. It's the city I live in, the city of angels, lonely as I am, together we cry. And the city of angels, of course, they're referring to Los Angeles, where Kiedis grew up. And of course, this third verse mentioning that loneliness that Kiedis felt during this heavy drug phase of his life. It's hard to believe that there's nobody out there. It's hard to believe that I'm all alone. At least I have her love, the city she loves me, lonely as I am, together we cry. And that classic chorus with this song, I don't ever want to feel like I did that day, take me to the place I love, take me all the way. And of course that break-off part that we mentioned before coming near the end of the song, Kiedis very directly and openly talking about his drug use here. Under the bridge downtown is where I drew some blood. Under the bridge downtown I could not get enough. Under the bridge downtown forgot about my love. Under the bridge downtown I gave my life away. So some pretty deep and meaningful lyrics in this one. So Under the Bridge, it is an amazing song. As we say, the biggest hit from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Everybody out there knows this one. A song with a lot of depth to it, both musically and lyrically. That intro from John Frusciante is just so legendary now. This one just contains so much meaning for Anthony Kiedis. The lyrics, very deep, and was really that first time that the Chili Peppers had broken out of that rock funk type of shell, and they decided to do something different, just kind of by chance really, that Rick Rubin noticed the song and asked Kiedis what it was about, and it just went on from there. Everybody loved it. An absolute classic and amazing song for the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's Under the Bridge.
I don't ever wanna feel like I did that day. Take me to the place I love, take me all the way. And the place I love is where I am now.